Major funding for these programs is provided by HSH Nordbank and First American Title Insurance Company of New York, Perfect Building Maintenance, Allied Partners, Greenberg Traurig LP, the Moynihan Group. Additional funding is provided by Antares Real Estate, Arbor Realty Trust, C.B. Richard Ellis, City Habitats, Cushman & Wakefield, Essex Capital Partners, Fremont Investment and Loan, Massey Knackle Realty Services, Must Development LLC, Newmark Knight Frank, Palin Enterprises, Rosenthal & Rosenthal Inc., Signature Bank, Stonehenge Partners, Swig Equities, the Engel Berman Group, the Witkoff Group, Titan Capital, YL Real Estate Developers.
Hello, my name is Michael Stola, host of Building New York. 46 years ago, this guy is born in Taiwan, and today I really think that I have found, and I'm going to tell you the story about the hotel, the Starbucks of New York. Starbucks opens up all over, but there's nobody who's building more than 28 hotels in the city of New York with $2 billion in costs than my friend Sam Chang, chairman of McSam Hotels. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So, you're born in Taiwan, you then go to Japan, and then you, at 16 years of age, your family moves to Los Angeles.
Right.
And as you said to me, you dropped out of school, and what's your first job in Los Angeles?
The first job I have in Los Angeles was dishwasher in a restaurant.
But then, after that, then you got the first taste of the hotel. Your mother buys a small 9-room hotel?
Right. A small 9-room motel in Hollywood area.
And what do you do there?
Well, I was working at daytime, and at night or the weekend I was helping her out. And that's where I did my motel business.
So then what happens after that? You told me you then start, at 18 you built your first hotel? The first restaurant?
Right. At 18 I bought my first restaurant in downtown Los Angeles.
Was it a restaurant or was it a takeout? What was it?
It's a small restaurant, about 50-seater.
Yeah. And then at 19, you told me it was very interesting. You had this black Trans Am, right? This black Pontiac Trans Am, and you take this car and you go cross country from Los Angeles to New York. And what do you say when you come to New York City? You told me when we met.
Well, I was cross country driving into to the East Coast. While we was coming to New York City, before the Lincoln Tunnel, where you can see the entire Manhattan view. And I was there with my friend Peter, sat next to me. I said, Peter, if one day I can ever own one building in this island, I will be a real happy man.
Yeah, things have done well. Okay, what happens then? Something with the yellow pages. You look for a job.
No, while we was across the country, what we do is we will try to learn some, restaurant experience, business experience. So. From LA down to New York, every single big city, like we started with Phoenix, and the next one is Dallas, San Antonio, and I keep coming up, Missouri. Every big city we stop by, and at a motel we pick up a yellow page and we call all the restaurant and try to find a job. And we go into the restaurant in each city. The best, we find out which restaurant is the most busiest restaurant, successful restaurant. We go there and get a job, and we work in there for 1 week and take out a note and try to then, why the restaurant is successful. So it take us about 6 months to cross the country. We stop by for like 15 different cities, work in 15 different restaurants, and try to get an experience out of it.
And then you go back to California.
Then I go back to California.
And you open some more restaurants in Salt Lake City and some other places. And then it's 23 years of age when you buy your first hotel. Where was that first hotel? Everybody loves their first property. Where was that property?
Well, I was in Baltimore, Maryland. At that time, I owned a couple of restaurants in Baltimore, Maryland. And one day I had a chance to book, from the newspaper, I find out there's a 60-room Quality Inn hotel for sale in Hagerstown, Maryland. And it was the owner financing, so I figured maybe I should sell my restaurant and go to hotel business. So I sold my 2 restaurants and come up with $250,000 for down payment, and there we go. We bought this 60-room Quality in Hagerstown, Maryland.
So after that, at 25, there's 23, you had this. At 25, you built your first hotel. What was that?
Well, after we running this Quality Inn for a couple of years, I starting to like hotel business more and more, and we have a chance to travel to a city called Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. It's about 45 minutes from where I am, Hagerstown, Maryland, about 1 hour outside of Washington, D.C. And it's a tourist town, real beautiful historical area town. And we find a small piece in there for $150,000 where I can build a hotel on it. So I tell myself, maybe I should try to be a developer, see if I can build one hotel. So that's how I did it.
So, and then for the next couple of years, like I think it was 1985 to 1989, you buy or build 10 hotels, right?
Right. From 85 to 89, I built like 2-3 new hotels, and I bought like 5-6 existing hotels. And
then what happens in 1990, Sam?
Well, at the end of
you're 30 years of age.
I was 30 years of age. At that time, the real estate starting to decline. The bank stopped financing a hotel, and we have some note coming due for a couple of our hotels. We just can't find a new lender for that. So it was in a real financial difficulty at the time. And of course, every time when you have a money problem or you have a financial difficulty, then you starting to have a problem with your family. So at the end, I have to get a divorce, and I lost all my hotel in 1990.
And you filed personal bankruptcy.
And I filed my first bankruptcy.
First personal bankruptcy. But Sam Chang's a fighter. Sam Chang, never loses something. So what happens from 1990 to 1993? You go back into the hotel business, don't you?
Right. So 1990, I got divorced. 1991, I finished my bankruptcy case. So I started making a phone call with the people who I know, and I team up with my friend in Taiwan and my cousin in Taiwan, and we put some money together, and we started buying a foreclosure property.
Right. The first one was in New Haven, wasn't it?
Yeah, we bought the first Super A motel in New Haven, Connecticut from Barclays Bank in 1992. And end of 1992, we bought 2 hotels, Ramada in Edison and Ramada from Detroit Airport, from
Detroit
Airport, from Lehman Brothers. And after we tasted the first 3, we noticed it's good business to be in. And was in 1992 to 1993, in 12 months, we purchased additional 10 hotels from FDIC and RTC, that including a couple major hotels, Marriott in Stamford, Connecticut, Crown Plaza in downtown Stamford, Connecticut. We bought a Prince George Hotel in 27th in Madison. And we was working well.
Didn't you also have involvement with the Days Inn on 57th Street?
Yeah, we struck a deal to lease, the lease of. At that time, it was called Park Inn. We leased a Park Inn hotel for 49 years, and we end up with a company with a 15 hotel,
4,000 rooms.
About 4,000 rooms, and we have about 3,000 employees in the company. who was doing very well at that time.
And why does Sam Chang go to Biloxi, Mississippi? What happens then? You didn't like New York? You wanted to go to Mississippi and Gulfport?
Well, it was a funny story. We was trying to buying, at that time we were trying to negotiating to buying a Plaza Hotel. Plaza Hotel.
The Plaza on Fifth Avenue?
Right, from Trump. So I went to the Trump's office in Trump's Tower, sitting there with 1 hour with him, and negotiating to buying a Trump Tower. And meanwhile, we talk, and suddenly, you know, he started to talk about a casino business, how good a casino business is. So at a moment, it get my thinking switched a little bit, and I decided maybe I should try the casino business.
So what do you do?
So I went down to Mississippi. I tie up like 3 different sites, one in Biloxi, one in Natchez, Mississippi, the other one in Gulfport, Mississippi. And I started planning to own a casino.
Now, a casino or a casino with a hotel?
Casino. At that time, it's what they call a riverboat casino.
Yeah.
You build a casino on a barge. The casino had to be on the water. So at that time, it's a casino with either you can be a standalone casino or you can have a hotel, you know, adjacent to it. Either way.
So did you ever open a hotel or a casino?
No, you know, as I say, don't ever do anything you don't know. Just do what you do the best.
So what happens? It's 1996, Sam. 6 years after 1990 bankruptcy. What happens?
Well, as you know, in America, you can file bankruptcy every 7 years. 6.5 years exactly. Not try to take advantage on that because, you know, with 2 bankruptcy in my life, I learned a little bit about the law. I guess when I didn't recognize how difficult a casino business is.
So did you lose all of the 3 of the hotels with the 4,000 rooms?
No, I was have to keep pulling out the money out of hotel operation to pump into to developing a casino, and at the end, you know, my hotel partner just got mad at me, and you know, they just offered to buy me out, and my you know, at that moment, I lost my focus on the hotel. I forgot who I am.
You forget that you, from the restaurants, the hotel.
I forgot what I do the best is a hotel.
And then you tell me you go down to Florida and go fishing, or play golf and go fishing, or
what happened is after I lost all the casino, due to some special reason, I have to file my second bankruptcy in my life in 1996. Finish up my bankruptcy case in 1997, and I was just so tired at the time. I need a rest, so.
But then you come back to Flushing, and tell my audience, because this is a great Flushing story. You go to this restaurant in Flushing, and you meet the proprietress, the woman who owns the restaurant. What does she say to you?
Well, in 1997, I had to come back to New York City to go to court to finish my final bankruptcy case. And that evening, one of my friends invited me to this restaurant in Flushing. And I went into a restaurant, and this manager who know me very well, the lady who know me very well, is look at me like, you know, Sam, is this you? I said, yeah, that's me. You know, how dare you come back to New York? I said, why not? And he said, well, I saw you lost everything. You filed bankruptcy. Why are you still here? So, you know, at that time my mind was real, my thinking was real flat, real down, real smooth. I just want to be relaxed with my life. But what she said to me really hurts me. You know, that popped in my mind. I can't play golf and fishing for the rest of my life. I had to come back. I have to get back to the business.
So you come back with strength in your hand, 37 years of age, 36 or 37, and what do? You go to JFK Airport and you find a site. Tell me about that site.
Well, when I come back, I figure I have to do something, and I had to do something to raise the capital quickly.
Yeah, but you only had $700 in your pocket at that time.
Yeah, that's what I have when I come back. I have $700 cash in my pocket. But I look at site in JFK. I believe it's about 15,000 square feet site in JFK adjacent to the Holiday Inn, which is I own today. I look at it, and I figure it's got a lot of potential. I call up a broker. The broker say, right now they have a contract out for $550, asking price is $600. I have to wait for the first guy if he back out before I can buy it. I knew this is an opportunity that I cannot miss. I went to the broker office, and I told these guys, I said, John, I give you full price, $600,000. They believe me. We went to contract, and I bought a property for $600,000.
Yeah, but let's go over that, go into the contract, because that's a great story. John Catsimatidis was on my show once, and he talks about when he was in the supermarket business that he'd be open specifically Sunday because on Fridays he'd write the checks, but he hoped that there was enough money on Monday to close. You had a similar situation.
Well, as you know, you're buying a property in New York City, you need 10% deposit. So you need $60,000 now. So when I bought this property, I have no money, but I'm confident with my relationship with in the business, I can find the money to put a deposit in. So in Friday afternoon, we sign a check. We give it to the broker. By knowing giving to the check to him after 3 o'clock, they cannot deposit until Monday. So I have 3 days to find the money. So I signed a contract to buy this property for $600,000. And right after I issued a check, I started calling everybody, calling all my friends. And there you go, by Monday morning, I raised $60,000 to cover the deposit check.
And tell me what happened. So you get the property for $600,000, you never built over there, right?
Well, that's the first step after you put in the deposit for $60,000. Now you have to find the rest of the money to close the deal. So I find an architect. His name is Peter Poon, where we are good friends now, but at that time I don't even know him. So I went to him and I said, Mr. Poon, I need you to help me out. I need you to design the building, but I have no money to pay you, but I will pay you when I sold it. And he believed my concept. He designed the 200-room hotel on the site. Then I have about 45 days I have to close the deal. I know I have to find the remaining $540,000 plus closing costs. I need another $600,000 to close this deal. I started calling all the long shot, whatever you can do to try to raise the money to buy it. Because I know this property is going to bring me back to the business. So at the end, I find a financing company called Kennedy Funding out of Forty, New Jersey, who gave me a commitment letter for $600,000 for like 18% interest. And it's a very expensive money. I send this a commitment letter to my lawyer, Stu Rumble, who's been representing me ever since I was 23 when I bought first hotel. And Stu looked at it and said, Sam, you are crazy to take a loan like this. So I told Stu, I have no choice. I gotta buy this piece there. So 2 days later, my lawyer called me back and said, Sam, I believe in you so much, I will loan you this money personally. So there we go. I don't have to get the money from Kennedy Funding. And I got the money from my own lawyer. My own lawyer lent me $600,000 to close the deal. And 5 months later, we turned around and we sold this property for over $2 million.
Not a bad profit.
But
But that was the start of the comeback of Sam Chang. Then you go to the Javits Center. You build the first hotel near the Javits Center. Tell me about that.
After I cashed out this land in JFK, I went and bought a two-piece land, one in JFK, small one in JFK, one in Flushing. I went and built a Comfort Inn in JFK. I went and built a Howard Johnson in downtown Flushing. Turned around, we sold a Howard Johnson to make another $1 million, and we sold a Comfort Inn to Hershaw, the RE, And at that time, I was able to put some capital together after I sold 3 different properties. And I stepped into Manhattan market. And the first site I ever bought is a 422 West 36th Street, where 10 years ago in Javits Center, there's nobody there. I was the first guy who ever built a hotel in Javits Center.
And how'd you end up in the Lower East Side? I mean, you were near Yonah Shimmel's Kamnish. There's Sam Chang's Howard Johnson. How'd you do that one?
Well, that was a fun story. While we was closing this deal on 442 West 36th Street, 422 West 36th Street, my lawyer Stu, who is from Baltimore, Maryland, after we finished closing on the way back to the train station, he said, "Sam, you need to take me to this Lower East Side because I want to go to this most famous Kenish place." So I drove him down to the Houston Street, stopped in the front of this Kenish place in Houston and Forsyth Street near the park. And I was sitting in the car waiting for him to go in to get some Kenish. And I see a little sign in there that says, property for sale. And there you go, there's a little tiny piece of land, 25 by 90, sitting in the corner of Houston Street and Forsyth. I went and called a broker, found the property is for sale for $450,000, and I bought it, and I built a hotel in there.
You built the hotel, and then you made a couple of dollars on selling that hotel.
Yeah, that was one of our most successful hotel story.
So now, I mean, hey, as I said to my audience before, you're building 25 hotels?
Approximately 25 hotels.
Okay, but I remember when I was walking, I think it was a couple right after 9/11, perhaps. I'm walking near Madison Square Garden one day, and I see this Hampton Inn. What was that? That was one of your first near the garden, right?
No, that was right before the 9/11 happened. I have a team up with Hershaw Re, and we are building 3 Hampton Inn, one in the 31st Street, one in 24th Street, and one in the Seaport District in 320 Pearl Street.
So you built those. And then you went to 45th Street, right? You built...
Right, and we went to 45th Street and we built a 125 room Holiday Inn Express on 45th and 5th.
And, today, you and you toured me right next to my studio. We're in the old Altman's building. You built this hotel called Hotel 373?
Right, at 5th Avenue.
Right, and that's very interesting. I think there was a Cohn's Optical in that building originally, and you put a 9-story hotel?
It was originally an 8-story hotel, and we put 1-story addition to it. So right now it's 9-story.
But right in the Midtown, on 35th Street today, you're building on 35th, 36th, 37th, and then you're building 9 hotels near the Port Authority. How come you're building 9 hotels?
In 39th Street, between 8th and 9th Avenue, 2 years ago, we bought a first piece more than 25 by 100. We was building a Comfort Inn, 80-room Comfort Inn in there. Then the parking lot next door approached us. Then we bought a parking lot. And another parking lot approached us. We bought another parking lot. Another guys approached us.
Don't you like parking lots to keep in business, or they have to be hotels now?
Well, I mean, it all depends. The city doesn't have enough hotel right now. So let's take care of the tourist problem first. So the city economy will grow before we worry about the parking.
So talk about the 30 near the Port Authority.
So at the end, right now, I'm building 7 hotels in 39th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue.
And where else are you building hotels today?
We have 1 hotel under construction on 44th Street and 9th Avenue. We have a hotel under construction at 24th Street, 26th Street, 28th Street, 29th Street.
Now these hotels, for my audience, these are hotels. These are Hampton Inns. They're
Hilton
Garden Inn,
Holiday Inn Express.
And you know, this morning we were fortunate that we took a tour, you and I, of some of your properties. That magnificent hotel that you're opening up, that's near the Tribeca Grand and this.
It's in the Avenue America,
right,
and corner of York Street, 1 block south of Canal Street. There's a 151-room Hilton Garden.
And you like downtown. You're building a lot of hotels downtown, aren't you?
Well, when I started going to downtown market 3 years ago, there's nobody there. I mean, nobody is planning to build any hotel in downtown. So I went into downtown area. Just give you an example. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 projects in downtown area. I figure I have 8 projects with about 2,000 rooms going to downtown financial district area, downtown Manhattan area.
And how'd you get to Brooklyn? I mean, you were a couple of months ago, you opened up the first one on 4th Avenue. You built a hotel in the Gowanus or near the Gowanus.
Well, you always hear the Marriott in Brooklyn is doing well, and they're putting a couple of years ago, they are building an addition of like 200 rooms. So I know how well they're doing. I know the Brooklyn needs some more room at that time. So I went and bought a site about 11 blocks away from the Marriott, and I went and built a 150-room Holiday Inn Express in there, and we opened up in last September.
So you got hotels today in Manhattan, Brooklyn. What about Queens?
We do have many hotels in Queens. I have built 9 hotels in JFK.
And you're also building in Staten Island?
I'm building 3 hotels in Staten Island right now.
And nothing in the Bronx?
We do have 1 hotel. We have approval to build a small comfort inn in Bronx, but we just don't have time to get to it yet.
So Sam, for a guy who's gone through some difficult times, let's say, you know, you really, you definitely are a builder of New York, but I have a question. You have 4 children, you told me. One who's completing her MBA.
Right.
And then you have another son who's graduating tomorrow, unfortunately wasn't hurt in this Virginia Tech.
Right.
The second one, and then you have 2 younger ones.
Right.
Would you want these people to come into the business like you?
Well, I would prefer to get some street experience first. So, you know, if my daughter and my son will go to outside company, work for a little while, learn a little bit before they come over, that's what I would prefer, you know.
So for a man who, when he was 19 in the Trans Am, saying, if I can only have 1 building, you've built a lot, and you are truly a builder of New York. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Michael.
Major funding for these programs is provided by HSH Nordbank and First American Title Insurance Company of New York, Perfect Building Maintenance, Allied Partners, Greenberg Traurig LP, the Moynihan Group. Additional funding is provided by Antares Real Estate, Arbor Realty Trust, C.B. Richard Ellis, City Habitats, Cushman & Wakefield, Essex Capital Partners, Fremont Investment and Loan, Massey Knackle Realty Services, Must Development LLC, Newmark Knight Frank, Palin Enterprises, Rosenthal & Rosenthal Inc., Signature Bank, Stonehenge Partners, Swig Equities, the Engel Berman Group, the Wickoff Group, Titan Capital, YL Real Estate Developers.